Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Pastor Smith from Palma Cia Baptist Church. I am glad to be meeting with you again. And I wanted to give you an update regarding what we're doing with the COVID-19 virus and how the church is faring and some of the changes that have taken place. So just to give you a brief update, you may recall that the last time that we met physically was March 15th. That was the third Sunday in March. We had a small crew there because we had already decided that we were going to not bring the whole church together. So we did have a small crew there on the 15th of March, but that next Thursday, the 19th, is when Governor Newsom issued his shelter-in-place order. And so that next Sunday, the 22nd, is the first Sunday that we did not meet at all at Palma Cia, and we have not met since that time. So it's been a month since the church has met physically together. But yet we've done a lot of things to maintain the cohesion of our church body. During that month, there's been a lot of changes in our church as well as society at large. And so we've been trying to do things that would maintain the cohesion of our church body, that would keep us together and allow us to fellowship as best we can. And we've been doing lots of things. You know, we're very creative people. I want to just briefly highlight three of the things that we've done along those lines. First of all is the noontime prayer, daily prayer that we've been having. Every day there's been a conference call line that we call in and we have prayer. It's a beautiful time of prayer and fellowship. We have anywhere between 50 and 60 plus people on the line. It gets a little hard to hear when we're all first fellowshipping, but we've learned to mute our phones when the prayer goes forth, and it's a great time of fellowship. The prayer is led by several of our ministerial staff. Reverend Anthony Woods, our assistant pastor, does most of the leading. He leads the prayer on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Does a great job with that. Sister Regina Bradford-Tardy, who also is the coordinator of our Grief Share program, she leads the prayer on Wednesdays, does a wonderful job. And then Reverend William Harrison, who is a chaplain at Summit Hospital, he does the prayer on Saturdays. And then as a pastor, I lead the prayer on Sundays. But it's a wonderful time of fellowship, powerful prayer, and I encourage you all to give it a try. Call in at noon and be treated to a wonderful time. But actually call in a little bit early so we can have a little bit of time to fellowship, and then the prayer commences at noon. The second entity that we are using to maintain our cohesion is our webpage. The webpage is handy. It's always available. We've been trying our best to, we keep sermons on there. There's a great musical selection that our Minister of Music has ensured that we have access to. And then there's announcements and other information that's available. So we have tried our best on the webpage to sort of maintain the flavor of a worship service. So it's a great thing to do on Sunday mornings, to click on the latest sermon that's there and also hear the music. Let it inspire you and touch your heart. And so we're grateful for that, the work that's going on with the webpage. And then the third element there is actually less formal. This is the members have just been reaching out to one another. I hear stories, here and there about things that members are doing to reach out to one another, to hold each other's hand, to run errands for one another. And it's just a blessing to see the love of God and the fellowship of the believers taking place in real time. So those are all things that we're doing to maintain the vibrancy of our church family. Now, I can't really tell you how long we're going to be operating in this mode. We don't want to try to set a date. That's actually going to depend upon a lot of things. But what we're trying our best to do is follow the guidance that's been given by our government. And in particular, that guidance, we're praying that guidance is based on the latest scientific insights. We're not interested in just following political fads, but to the extent that policy is based on scientific insight, we want to do our part to make sure that we are helping in this fight to reduce the problems with this virus. And I want everyone to know that this is not a matter of trying to prove your loyalty to God. God knows that we love Him. But the Lord wants us to be prudent, wants us to use good common sense, and wants us to be team players with our society. And so with that, we're trying not to put people unnecessarily at risk. And on that topic of risk, I just want to take a moment to speak to us as an African American community and how this virus might be affecting us. The latest data from the Centers for Disease Control says that African Americans are being hit disproportionately by this virus. We are about 13% of the U.S. population, yet we make up over 30% of the cases, the hospitalized cases of this virus. Now that's over twice our representation in the general society, and not only that, we die at a rate that is twice the rate of whites in the society. So I can assure you that this is not happening because somehow or another people have taught this virus how to discriminate. This is happening, well, for lots of different reasons. Probably the biggest one is that there are many of the pre-existing conditions that this virus can exploit for damage. We happen to have more of those, and that's due to a long history of inequality that we've addressed. But there's one thing that I want to make sure is not a factor, and that is I don't want it to hit our communities harder because we simply haven't been taking these threats seriously. So what I want us all to do is make sure that we are doing our part to be prudent, to be proactive, and to not do anything that looks like we're just not being serious about the threats that this virus represents. Brothers and sisters, we have a long history of inequality in this country. We know that we have had to deal with that, and we are dealing with that, but we have an even longer history of putting our hand in God's hand and having faith in Him. And I know that however this transpires, I know that if we keep our hand in God's, He's going to bring us out of this stronger, more vibrant, and more alive than before. So God bless you, brothers and sisters. Keep the faith, hang in there, and we will continue to worship the Lord as He has allowed us to. God bless you and keep you, and we look forward to meeting with you again. Amen.